What's up, guys? My name is Hassan Khan, and you're listening to the Time to Football podcast. I'm bringing podcast back. Yeah? That was funny. I'm bringing back podcasts. I haven't done these in a while. I'm going to try to get one out every single week, but this week being Super Bowl week, you'll be getting 2 podcasts. So look forward to that. And this week, this podcast right now, we're going to talk about MVP race, which the award show is Saturday, January 31st. And also we're going to recap the 2015 Pro Bowl because, believe it or not, it was actually a pretty cool game. But first, I just want to say, if you're not familiar, this podcast is an addition to the show Time to Football that's on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/Time to Football. Time to Football is one word. It uses the number 2 instead of the word 2 because, well, tell him, Big Sean. I don't give a. We had to censor that because it might be offensive to our audience. And I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Like, what audience? Only 3 people listen to this show. Ha ha! Very true. Anyways, the 2015 Pro Bowl was a lot better than most expected. Team Carter could not make the comeback against Team Irvin, and they lost 32-28. Andy Dalton was the last quarterback for Team Carter. Couldn't make the comeback. What was he, like a 9th QB alternate? Because with everyone being injured and Philip Rivers denying it, Joe Flacco denying it, a lot of players going to the Super Bowl. Eli Manning and even Ryan Tannehill were way more deserving of that, but it turned out to be a really good game. Odell Beckham Jr. made some nice catches, as usual. Brent Grimes, who was on Team Irvin, was a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. I'm sorry, not Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive MVP of the game. That award went to J.J. Watt, who was on Team Carter, had a fumble, had an interception. The offensive MVP was Matthew Stafford, throwing over 300 yards in the Pro Bowl, only the second time in NFL history where a player has thrown for over 300 yards, the first being Peyton Manning back in 2004, which he threw for 342 yards, which is a record to this day. But beyond just the stats and cool plays of that game, because, I mean, it was a meaningless game. It was just great football if you're a football fan. They experimented a lot. The field goals were narrower, from 18 feet and 6 inches to 14 feet and 6 inches. Also, they moved the extra point back to the 15-yard line, so it'd be a 33-yard field goal, essentially. Adam Vinatieri, who didn't miss a field goal in the entire season until the last game of the regular season, he had trouble. He missed a couple extra points. That just kind of frustrated me because it's like saying, hey, kickers are doing really, really well at their job, so why don't we punish them by making it harder? You know? But besides that, Pro Bowl was awesome. Now, let's talk about the MVP because I want to give you my 2 cents on who should win. Obviously, everyone's going to say Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Andrew Luck is in the MVP race as well, DeMarco Murray, Tony Romo, J.J. Watt. Out of all those players, though, who should really be deserving of the MVP? The front runner to win it, and the one that's most likely going to win it is Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers. I think it should be Texans defensive end J.J. Watt. Here, let's do an experiment first. Right now, get your phone out, get your tablet out, get your computer if you're next to your computer, get that out, whatever it is. Just go to NFL.com or go to ESPN.com's NFL page. Just right now, just go there. And once you're there, what is the first picture that you see? I promise you, 90 to 95% most likely it's going to be a quarterback. And the media overglorifies quarterbacks these days. Now, I'm not saying that quarterbacks aren't important. They're very important. And that's why I think Aaron Rodgers stands out to everyone as the NFL MVP. And don't get me wrong, great year. Had about 4,300 passing yards through 38 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, which is really good. But ask yourself this. How does Aaron Rodgers stand out significantly from Tom Brady, from Andrew Luck, from Tony Romo, from Peyton Manning? He might stand out, but he doesn't stand out significantly. And that's where I think the NFL and the media is messing up. That we're giving awards to players just because they're quarterbacks or just because they touch the ball more times than any other position. That's not how it should be. Because J.J. Watt has done everything humanly possible that he can do for his position. 20 and a half sacks, which is second in the NFL. 5 fumble recoveries, 4 forced fumbles, 10 passes knocked down, 78 total tackles, also had an interception, and he returned an interception and a fumble for a touchdown. On top of that, we've all seen J.J. Watt play tight end, catching 3 receiving touchdowns on offense. I mean, what else do you want the man to do? Return a punt for a touchdown? But then the debate gets brought up about how Aaron Rodgers is more valuable to their team. If you were to take Aaron Rodgers away from a great Packers team, the Packers team would turn mediocre. However, if you were to take J.J. Watt from a mediocre Texans team, then the Texans would be mediocre. So in a sense, they're saying that Aaron Rodgers is more valuable to their team. You could say that about Joe Thomas, the offensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Browns went 7-9, but if you were to take Joe Thomas away, how do you know that the Browns wouldn't be 4-12 or 3-13? Luke Kuechly, the linebacker for the Carolina Panthers. How do you know if you don't take him away, maybe the Panthers wouldn't have made the playoffs? With this Super Bowl coming up, I think more people see it as Tom Brady versus Russell Wilson than they do the New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. I read a stat the other day that said that Russell Wilson is 10-0 against Super Bowl winning quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, like Drew Brees, and like Tom Brady. That stat means nothing because I don't see Drew Brees playing strong safety. Tom Brady does not play Peyton Manning. I don't see Peyton Manning playing defensive end. Or I don't see Aaron Rodgers playing linebacker. You get the picture. The point being, the quarterbacks are 85% of the team in the media's eyes, which is absolutely not true. And because of that, the media overglorifies quarterbacks and in a sense is going to sway the opinion of the people that vote for the NFL MVP award, and J.J. Watt will not win the NFL MVP that he so rightfully deserves. But then again, I could be wrong. If Watt ends up winning it, I'll be extremely satisfied. But I will say this, and I stand by this, that if J.J. Watt does not win the NFL MVP award, then most likely in history, in the future, no defensive player ever will win. Watt stands out significantly, times infinity, from any other defensive end. Bottom line, J.J. Watt should be NFL MVP, but most likely it'll go to Aaron Rodgers. But that's all I wanted to say. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more podcasts coming up. Especially this week, there's going to be a Super Bowl edition, and then there's going to be one every single week. Also, you can go to www.youtube.com/time2football. Remember, one word and use the number 2 instead of the word 2, and you can subscribe there. You can also follow me on Twitter at It's Hassan Khan. That's ITSHASSANKHAN. All one word, no underscores, no dashes, or anything like that. And you can tweet to me if you have any questions that you want answered on this podcast or on the YouTube show. Just anything at all. Just want to talk about football. Just hit me up and I'll respond. Thank you guys for listening and hope you guys have a great day.